And welcome back to game number 2 between Playmakers and INF.Y. Playmakers taking game 1. I'm not going to say in a convincing manner. They just played around the ultimate timings extremely well. Let's see if INF.Y can bring this to a game 3. Brewmaster being banned out by Playmakers, followed up by the Lesh and the Lich. INF.Y deciding to take out once again. I can't remember. I think it was them that actually banned out the Enigma in the first game as well. Trying to, just make sure that the Enigma's not there, the status resistance counter, so to speak. I don't know if that's why, but that's one of the main reasons we're seeing Enigma bans lately. Phoenix being taken out next by INF.Y, and then followed up by the Magnus, where the Shockwave, of course, brings you closer. It seems like everything in this patch is just being around pulling things in, the Lich pulling things in, the Magnus pulling things closer. It's quite an interesting change to Dota mechanics. And I, for one, I'm loving it. Yeah. Sorry about that. Playmakers, first pick Grimstroke up yet again. INF.Y follow... Wait, actually it was INF.Y that decided to pick up the Dazzle first pick. Are we going to see that mid-Dazzle, moving into those early Necros, keeping, having 100% uptime with the Necros at the mid-game stage, roughly? Playmakers decide to pick up Grimstroke and Weaver. Seems like they want to be aggressive again, be in the face again, just like they were in game number 1. And it's INF.Y's time to pick up again. Thanks for the guys that waited for the 10-minute delay instead of the 5-minute delay on stream. That was my bad. I put the delay to 10 minutes and not 5 minutes. So we had to just fix that. What's the score? Score is 1-0 to Playmakers currently. Axe being picked up here by INF.Y. We did not see that in the first round. I did think that they were going to pick up the Axe, but then they went for the Doom instead. Just quickly, yeah, they did. INF.Y were on that side. Yes, they did. Just wanted to make sure that I'm thinking about the right teams here. Sorry for the coughs there. Bans coming through. INF.Y. If we have a look at the... we haven't seen a Meepo ban coming out. I think Meepo was banned out in the first game. Quite an interesting ban coming through between the two teams. But, yeah. Let's see what the next bans are going to be here. Actually, just checking. Where's that Dota? I need to open it up again. League filters. Monkey King being banned out by INF.Y, followed up by Train Protector on Playmakers. Next bans, are we going to see the likes of Rubik being banned out here, or is that going to be left through as well? Considering that, we've seen a lot of mid Rubiks, we've seen a few support Rubiks as well. It throws off the stats a little bit because you don't know if it is going to be a mid, if it is going to be a support, or what's actually going to be played. But Playmakers, well, INF.Y decided to ban out the Slug. This was not a hero that was picked or banned in game 1. We did mention it briefly, thinking that it might be an okay-ish pick. But they decided to take it out. Of course, you don't want the Slug pounce, considering it's now leashed. It's not that Ice Frog already had like so many different kinds of, you're leashed, you're rooted, you're stunned. There's so many different ones, and he decides, well, let's just bring in leash as well, and you can't TP out of it. You can only force stuff out of it, but you can't do anything else. It's completely broken. But having heroes like the Slug, like a Weaver, being mobile, being able to go in and out of fights very quickly, I don't think INF.Y wants that, because that sort of goes towards Playmakers' playstyle. Well, the way that they played in game number 1. Next ban is up here for Playmakers. They decide to take out the Tusk. No Tusk Snowball Axe Core combo. And of course, Playmakers can't pick up the Axe to counter the Dazzle either. So I rate good picks up for the side of Infamous Young this time. Undying being picked up by Playmakers. Okay. Now that's a hero which has a... So far during the Majors qualifier across all regions, Undying's been picked up twice, banned twice, and has a 0% win rate. So lost both the games he was picked up in. Let's see if Playmakers can actually change that stat coming through.
5 seconds left.
And let's have a look here. Next pickups here for Infamous. Lone Druid is still in the pool. Do you have that Lone Druid Axe combo with just the tankiness, the Dazzle being able to heal through everything, being able to shallow grave everything? Are we going to see something down that line? There is no Brewmaster to, you know, combo up that front line. Or do they decide to go for a carry? Morphling has not been picked or banned just yet. Morph might actually be a very good pickup for the side of Infamous Young, considering they're up against the Weaver, Grimstroke, and Undying. You can morph into the Undying, steal not steal Tombstone, but drop your own Tombstone, get a couple strength stacks off, morph back. It's not a bad pick, but do they pick it up this early on? Or do they maybe wait till their last pick in second phase to go something like that? Oh, tiny. Okay. And then Lifestealer up for Playmakers. So Weaver Lifestealer combos and Phantom Lance are being picked up for Infamous Young. So not following a trend that we've seen in some of the other regions. The Tiny has been picked up quite a bit. Of course, the stun or the avalanche from the Tiny now, you know, it's been changed a little bit. It now mini stuns you over a course of a, like, mini stun stops. It, you know, staggers the stuns.
10 seconds.
Your tree grab also, you can deny with the tree grab now without it actually counting towards the, you know, tree grab count that you have. Now, of course, denies do give, on the new patch, does give you gold. So it helps out quite a bit, especially in that pos 4 role, where you can now make sure you can get those denies because you do more damage than anyone else. But the Phantom Lancer pickup here is quite an interesting one for me. Not a lot of people have actually picked or played the PL, but we did see PL being banned in the first game. Lina being banned out now for the side of Playmakers. I mean, they do have frontline heroes with the Axe, the Tiny, and the PL. Lina can sit okay behind and do quite a bit of damage. So, good ban. It does, however, leave a Tinker in the pool. The reason why I'm saying the Tinker is I know Playmakers, I think, banned the Tinker in the first game. Or Tinker was banned in the first game. So it might actually be a hero, you know, one of those heroes where the team actually plays it a lot. I do not know because I don't know the teams that well. But let's see what they decide to pick up. They did ban out the Ember Spirit. So could this be a TA mid? It's going to be interesting to see.
5 seconds left.
Draft is about to be done here for the side of Infamous. They have 10 seconds left.
Radiant's turn to pick.
And it's going to be a Kunkka. So, Admiral Kunkka in the house. I actually like this from Infamous Young. The Kunkka, the Cocoa Rum, on top of an Axe, on top of a PL, and of course on top of a Kunkka, should, you know, allow them to survive long enough to, you know, get through the initial burst of Grimstroke, of the Lifestealer, of the Weaver. And if they can just survive that initial time period, the sustain coming in from the Dazzle, from the Axe just being able to stand there and soak up a lot of the damage, spin the whole time. PL, the longer you can keep him alive, the better. But it's actually going to be a Timbersaw being picked up here by Faker. So, Kunkka versus Timbersaw? I can't remember who was in which lane. This is going to be very interesting to see. They have dive heroes with the Weaver, with the Timbersaw. They have, you know, slow with the Undying, the Lifestealer, and the Grimstroke. So, extremely mobile draft, so to speak. I know a Lifestealer isn't really seen as a mobile hero, but everyone gives the either a slow or is extremely fast and mobile. So, Playmakers most likely looking to be hitting and running in the fights a lot with the Weaver, the Timbersaw, and the Lifestealer, just slowing everything down and jumping on people with the Infest Bomb. It's going to be interesting to see if they can actually pull this off, because if a good boat comes through, the PL might actually just do enough damage to the backline of Playmakers, which will cause them to retreat. But the game's about to start now, so I just hate this long delay. Like after everyone's picked, there should be like an old command, like Control Enter, that just kicks you into the game straight away. Well, guys, game number 2 between... Well, who is it? Yeah, there's a pause. Oh, I was waiting for it. There you go. There's the sad trombone. Game number 2 between Infamous Young and Playmakers. Can Infamous Young take game number 2 to force it to game 3? Or is Playmakers, you know, are they just going to play around? I mean, I can't even say play around the old timings, because this time there is no long, like, auto durations except for the Coca Rum, which is, or the Ghost Ship, which is 60, 50, and 40. So Infamous changing, or Infamous Young changing up their playstyle. And it's going to be interesting to see if Playmakers can actually do what they did in game 1, because I honestly feel the reason why they won that was they just pushed up as soon as all the ults were down. They just took towers, and Infamous Young could not fight during that time period. This time it's not going to be the same, and Infamous Young will want to actually take those fights.
This is just silly.
But let's see if Playmakers will give the PL enough time to actually get 1 or 2 core items up and running. So, game number 2 is going to kick off.
Oh,
Who actually got... Oh, I think it was Playmakers that got 3 runes in game number 1. Will they actually get 3 runes again here or not? Undying coming through, getting 4 stacks up. So only hitting 1 with the decay. And just a little bit of right click between everyone. Axe hasn't killed anything, of course. Tankiness coming in from the Undying, sitting on 8 strength stacks. And Infamous might again lose 3. Nope, they'll actually get 2 bounties this time around. Oh, Tiny, you might be in a bit of trouble right now, sitting on 8 stacks. Yeah, I actually think Undying might just push this, and still another one. Nah. He's okay with the 8 for now.
all praises.
Timbersaw versus Kunkka. This is going to be an interesting matchup between these two. I do feel that Timbersaw does have quite a big advantage, especially in, you know, as soon as he starts getting that level 2, level 3 marker. Top lane is going to be difficult for the PL up against the Grimstroke as well as the Weaver. Level 2 will most likely see the Geminate attack and just constant harassment up on the PL. And as you can see here, Timbersaw, he's Oh, just soaking up as much hits as possible, sitting on 5 reactive armor already. So he'll be okay just to bully the Kunkka completely out of this lane. Axe trying to cut the creep wave. Doing a good job right now. And I wonder where the first blood is actually going to be coming from. I think it might actually be on this top lane. Because the Geminate attack is there for the Weaver. Well, it's either going to be top lane or it's going to be mid. Kunkka might overextend and Faker might just dive him, kill him. But there is no extra mana up for the Timbersaw, so I think it should be... this time missing his Q. But we'll actually get the kill. Well, the hit onto the Dazzle. Dazzle needs one more hit, and there you go. Panthera getting the first blood. I think, didn't he also get the first blood in game number 1? Can't remember. But first blood is up for the side of Playmakers, so gonna make it even harder for the Phantom Launcher to farm up in this lane, because Dazzle isn't really an aggressive support, so it's going to be very difficult because there's a lot of spam coming in here between Grimstroke as well as the Weaver. Going to be interesting at level 3. Is the Weaver just going to go for that extra Geminate attack spam? That burst coming in. It's only a level 1 Stroke of Fate. And more creep wave, cutting action. Oh, dive, no dive. Weaver about to hit level 3, so let's actually have a look and see what he decides to go for. Level 3 is up. There you go. Level 3. Oh, and I missed the kill on where? Oh, that was just a normal one. Never mind. So he died to the jungle creep somewhere. We were still holding on to that skill point, not actually doing anything with it just yet. Just trying to see what is needed. He actually needs to put it into Geminate, into Sakuchi, into... Yeah, there you go. Actually dropping into the Storm, and this might be another kill. Phantom Launcher is in a lot of trouble. Does Doppel walk out? Will they actually be able to get the kill? One more hit needed, but it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, middle lane. Lost hits and denies. 4 minutes in, only showing now. Wow. GG Carter. Timbersaw sitting on 17 and 3 versus 21 and 3. So Kunkka not doing too badly for himself, but we are seeing yet again another jump here on the top lane, and Grimstroke does blow up the Dazzle. That Ink Swell. Just being able to, you know, I mean, Grimstroke, the amount of damage that he can put out at like the first couple of levels is honestly just ridiculous. And Undying's actually moved towards the top lane. So, but Tiny does go the Undying all the way back. Can they actually get the kill onto him? He is only a level 1 Undying, and he's trying to TP out, but does not. So 2 for 2 currently between Infamous Young as well as Playmakers. A lot better start for the side of Infamous Young. This time in game number 1, it was a little bit more in favor of Playmakers. And the Axe just busy chasing down Grimstroke. Is the wrap gonna come in onto him? Nope. Axe does get thrown up now. And Axe might be in a bit of trouble. Does of course call and just start TPing out. He'll be okay, but middle lane. Tiny trying to come in just to help out the Kunkka a little bit. Not that he needs help, because this Kunkka is actually doing very well up against the Timbersaw. And let's see, can they get a kill onto the last series? He is level 5. Only level 2 Tiny right now, so level 2 Tiny, level 5 Axe, level 6 Axe shortly. The harassment from Grimstroke, if targeted onto the Tiny, might actually just net them a quick kill. But it's going to be difficult with the stun and the core coming in at level 3, possibly stun. But a lot of the action has just faded away a little bit. Sending the Undying top just to try and get a couple of levels up. 12 stacks up in decay. And a wraparound here. They want to go onto the Kunkka right now. And here's the A12. He's just going to be running in. And I think Kunkka might just die from this. He is a very high level, but it's not going to be enough. Faker gets the kill. And I think that will just actually give him the net worth lead in the middle lane. Nope, still doesn't have it. But top lane, also another engagement on there. Phantom Lance is in a bit of trouble right now. Does manage to actually get out of that one. And here's the toss. But there is... I mean, he's only level 3, so... it's not going to be enough. Lots of action, just no kills. Just yet. Middle lane yet again. Faker just trying to bully out the Kunkka. Does have 2 braces up, so it's quite tanky. Sitting on 1,100 HP. And this might be a bit of trouble for Kunkka. Kunkka Rum, will that actually be able to help him at all? Faker does not have enough mana. Meanwhile, top lane, they did dive with Dazzle. And Dazzle did drop from this. Phantom Lance is going to be the next one to drop. So... Playmakers getting 2 kills. I keep wanting to say Painmakers, because that's honestly what it feels like right now. But it is Playmakers. Starting to stretch their lead. 8 minutes into the game. And you see, well, I mean, it's still only 1k in their favor, but Axe for the side of Infamous Young at least doing very well, sitting on 3,400 versus the Lifestealers 3,000. The big problem here is Lifestealers around 1,900 to 1,000 behind, ahead of the Phantom Monster. PL picking up 2 Wraith Bands just so that he can actually try and do something. Trying to bait out the Timbersaw. Here comes the Ghost Ship as well. The double damage rune up on the Timbersaw, but it doesn't actually help at all. They don't have enough to burst them down. Bottle, 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 and X back. Grip Shrug. Trying to play it out versus the Axe. Waiting for more of his support, so his team to actually come in, but I don't think they'll actually be able to kill the Axe with his Vanguard up already. And middle lane, nothing. I think Axe, he's just going to be standing there. He doesn't really care. The amount of damage that Playmakers can put up, well, it's actually not that bad. But I don't think they'll be able to get a kill. Oh, he's busy running and Playmakers are busy chasing. Yeah, it's definitely not going to do that. Another Ghost Ship coming in from the middle lanes, jumping while hitting the Timbersaw. Infamous busy pushing their luck as much as they can in all the lanes, and it seems to be working for them. They aren't losing too much in regards with net worth, only sitting 2k behind. Can they get a kill here onto... Ooh, nope, What is what trying to come through? There's a stun as well coming in from the Axe. The toss. Can they get the kill onto the Timbersaw? The call is there as well from the Axe. Is there going to be a dunk? There is no mana for a dunk. There is enough mana for a Timber Chain out. Are they going to keep on chasing this? They are quite close. The toss is coming in forward. There's the dunk finally coming in from the Axe. And yeah, doing so much just to try and kill that Timbersaw. But it does open up a little bit of space for the PL, even though he's still up against the Weaver, and the Weaver is sitting 1,300 gold above him at this stage. So, Infamous Young decent for themselves. However, Dazzle, I mean, he's a Dazzle support, guys. Come on. Support lives matter. But actually, working up towards that Blink Dagger, I think that will be a big item for them because they'll actually be able to... there's something going on. Yeah, this Phantom's Embrace is just so overpowering. And Phantom also is getting a bit of form. Tombstone was actually dropped for that, and they didn't manage to actually kill the Tombstone. They did get the tower in return, but can they actually turn this around? Here comes Grimstroke as well, doing, well, actually dropping his ulti, hitting the Kunkka, and Kunkka does drop from this, actually still standing there between three of the side of Playmakers. Can they do anything to get the kill? They're doing a lot, but it's not going to be enough. There's going to be a heal, 1 second left. Heal, there you go, there's a heal on the Axe, but Axe might actually still, one more hit needed. Yeah, Axe finally drops. And the stun's coming in, and they do manage to get the counter kill onto Faker. Can't really push for more. Who's actually double damage ruin up on the Weaver. There's the toss in, managing to jump on the Weaver, jump on the face, and Dazzle's just like, well, yeah, I can fly. Yeah, so this time, Infamous Young, I mean, they did lose quite a few kills there, but they at least managed to capitalize again and get 2 of the cores back in return. 8 and 5 with 3k net worth advantage for the side of Playmakers. I mean, the 2 frontliners are pretty damn tanky and seem nearly impossible to kill at this point. And that's a Timbersaw without any items, and the Axe, you know, having a bang. So Timbersaw has all of the reactive on the stacks up. Let's just have a look at how quickly he actually does it off or not. As you can see, they literally tried to throw everything at him, but here comes the boat combo and the dunk. The dunk was not needed. They want to turn around. They want to go for more. Can they actually get the kill onto the Undying? There's going to be nope. I completely lost track of where the Undying is. There it is. Nice over there. Did not manage to actually get the kill on him. They do want to chase off the Lifestealer. Lifestealer does dodge out the turret, and Grimstroke might be in a bit of trouble right now as well. Let's quickly zoom out. There's the blink in forward. Was that a blink? No, that was a toss in forward from the Axe, or from the Tiny. And they managed to get the kill, but that's now 2-for-1. A 2-for-1 special, 9 and 8. All of a sudden, the 3k net worth dropping all the way down to less than 1k. And PL is starting to get some form up. Now sitting only a couple hundred behind the Timbersaw, considering he was so far behind. And this is what I said early on. Can Infamous Young actually slow this game down enough, or speed the game up and put enough pressure so that... Oh, there goes my mouth. Can he put enough pressure to allow the PL to drop? But a good stun coming in here by the Tiny. Managing to actually kill off the Weaver, and the dunk comes in straight in onto the Undying. However, Faker's here. He wants to get a couple of return kills or get something in the... Well, at least. And can they do anything about this? Axe is being healed up. He does have enough to just buy out the Blink Dagger if he wants to, but the toss is there from the Tiny. And with that, Infamous Young actually takes the kill lead for the first time in the game, as well as the gold lead for the first time in the game. You see there's dropping just there you go. Well, not the first time, but first time in the past 8 minutes. PL finally getting some items up. Well, not... Oh. The last time I checked, he only had brown boots. Now he at least has full treads up, as well as morbid mask working towards that Yasha. Or diffusal blade, sorry. He only has one blade for lack. Axe blinking in forward. Not blinking, just walking in forward. And I think it's going to be a little bit more of a passive game over the next couple of minutes. Maybe 1 or 2 kills. Because they all need like their next item, the diffusal blade. Yeah, I was about to wonder why going for Yasha. But working towards that diffusal, PL won't really want to fight until he actually gets that. Axe has what he wants right now until he gets his blade mail up, which I don't actually think will be that long from now. But the side of Playmakers, let's have a look at item progression. Hood was just purchased up by the Timbersaw. What's actually flying to him in the courier, just TPs. Weaver sitting with the Maelstrom, working towards the Dragon Lance as well. So a lot of early-ish game items coming, or being queued up here by the side of Playmakers. They want to take the fights right now, and they want to be able to survive. The big thing though is the ghost ship is just keeping the side of Infamous Young alive long enough during those initial fights. And here's a smoke from Infamous Young. Playmakers doing exactly what they did in game 1 and just utilizing the map a lot better, getting a tier 2 tower quite early on. The smokes are here by the side of Infamous Young, trying to bait out a Tiny, and it's going to be baited out. The blink call forward from the Axe is actually not going to land. Here comes the Undying, does drop the tombstone. They want to turn around, but the Grimstroke ultimate is there. The Dazzle does drop, and here comes the boat. It will actually keep them alive a little bit longer, but it's not going to be enough. The Axe does fall from this, and Kunkka, he just uses the Shadow Blade to run out. That's 2 down for the side of Infamous Young. Splitting up the fight though, fighting over there and getting the blink call missed. Grimstroke did actually get a good ultimate down as well, and this might just be more kills coming through. The stuns were there, but is it going to be enough? They do manage to get the Undying down, but they want to focus onto the Kunkka, and Kunkka finally drops from that. I'm missing a couple of the kills here because they are fighting all over the place. They're fighting all over the place, but not together, if that makes sense. But Playmakers getting the advantage on that. I mean, forcing the fight to split, that is exactly what they need to do, because then the Axe can't just run in for it, even though there was a good stun coming in from the Tiny and the boat was also there. But if they aren't together, if Infamous isn't together, the boat's only going to hit onto 1 or 2, and if that happens, Playmakers, they have a Lifestealer, they have a Grimstroke, they have a Weaver. They're just going to pick off the rest of the team. They are smoked up right now. This is going to be an Infest bomb. Onto who? Onto someone. The smoke will actually get popped from both teams right now. There's the blink in for the call onto the Timbersaw. And here comes the... Oh, yeah, they do get the first bomb, but the boat was also there as well. They do manage to get the kill onto the Timbersaw. They want to turn around. Are they going to be able to get a dunk onto Grimstroke? There's the first dunk. However, the Dazzle does drop from that. The Light Glitch is doing so much. Another turn coming through. Triple kill up here for the Axe, but he finally does drop. Who's going to be the next one? Kunkka does fall because of the Undying. Getting 44 stacks in his decay as well as his ultimate. He is just right-clicking like a beast. Will they be able to get the kill onto the Phantom Lance? Phantom Lance does drop. Okay, one more hit. There's a toss coming in. Nope, not going to be enough. Triple kill up for the Weaver. Tiny nearly managing to actually get the extra kill on the Weaver, but the Weaver was just too fast. The toss not actually being cast on the Weaver, but on the Undying that's sitting on 2,200 HP because of all of the Undying stacks. Or decay stacks. That was insane. And with that fight, Playmakers take the lead again, around 3k in their favor. Dazzle Toma has bad juju now. And Fusel is picked up by the Phantom Monster, moving now in towards that Yanda. Bad Rush is being taken by the side of Playmakers. We're going to see move in forward. Where's the fight going to break out? Just illusions being thrown into the rush pit right now. Couple stacks up by the Timbersaw. His reactive armor. I mean, just have a look at that. 33 HP regen, does have a hood up as well. 10 stacks up, 11 stacks up. Are Infamous Young actually going to contest this or not? Seems like they just want to farm up at this point. And Grimstroke just keeping the backlines away from this fight. Rosh currently sitting on half HP. The tombstone has been dropped. Will still be there for around 20 seconds as they do jump in for it. The one that actually go in onto the Undying. Undying's in a lot of trouble. Here comes the board as well. It does manage to hit onto the Undying as well as the Timbersaw. Timbersaw does finally chain himself away. Timbersaw's in very low HP at this point. They finally managed to get the kill on the axe. He could not get the final gunshot to everyone. But the problem is, the Lifestealer is just going ham and killing everyone at this point. Lifestealer and the Weaver managing to get the kill, just going in forward. Weaver just, you know, doing Weaver things, running around, being elusive as hell, and Lifestealer just standing there and fighting. They nearly had enough damage from the side of Infamous Young, but they just could not get those dunks off. Axe was targeted early on, and the only person to survive that entire fight was the Phantom Launcher. So very scrappy and messy fights coming out here, but with that it's 5 KD for the side of Playmakers, and they're looking very happy at this point. I just saw chain lightning procs everywhere coming in. That was from the Weaver. Does have a full Maelstrom up. Going in for those heavy, you know, later game items a lot earlier, because you do have 2 Wraith Bands up. Gives you more attack speed, a little bit more damage. Lifestealer has his Radiance up as well. Moving towards the S&Y, does have the Aegis. Just, yeah, gonna use his Ancient Golem just to farm up a little bit more. There's a lot happening in these fights. The big thing is, the boat landed very well when the fight was over here. Boat landed, I think, onto 2 or 3 heroes. They did manage to get a good stun off from... Oh, wait, no. Here comes a smoke movement. And where they're going to go? No one, it seems. Oh, onto the axe, actually. Axe pops his blade off, but quite late at this point. I mean, just having a look at that, Axe was like on a quarter HP and Weaver did half damage to himself. There's just no further TPs coming in from the rest of his team. They actually did have TPs. The time they didn't. I think he might have TP'd out. I think if Infamous just managed to have 50 extra damage per second output more during those fights, they would have been able to kill off the Weaver. They would have been able to kill off the Timbersaw, which got out on extremely low HP. They would have been able to kill off the Lifestealer that was sitting on under a quarter HP the whole time during the previous fights. So let's see if Infamous can just delay this a little bit longer, get that match style up on Phantom Launcher. Theo is ulted up. He is shallow graved up now as well, but he's just going to be right click down. Won't actually matter, and that's just going to be Theo and the Dazzle. And the Lofts coming in. Grimstroke, the Soul Bind, of course, just binding 2 people together. They can't actually move out, and if you don't have mass illusions up,
that is too
and you can find the real PL, it's, you know, going to help a lot, because you're just going to slow him, going to do everything. PL can't really move away from his supports, and if he's tied to a support, like, you never want to be close to a Crystal Maiden if you're playing it up against a Grimstroke, because if the Crystal Maiden and any of the cores just get grouped together, they won't be able to move. Blink is queued up here for the Tiny. Will be a big pickup for them, just so that they can actually jump with the likes of the Axe, with the boat coming in. It will help them out quite a bit. Oh, Dazzle. I don't think so. Yeah, you're not low. You're silent. He will shallow grave himself. Will it be enough? He does actually not survive. Why did he start? Was he stuck? I don't know what happened. Problem is Dazzle's down for 40 seconds. No buyback. This is just... I think the call for the side of Playmakers to start pushing up. Gotta go in. Can actually get the kill onto Kunkka. Kunkka cannot really do anything. More stuns coming out here from Tiny. It's just one of those things where... As Infamous Young, you just had to back up. If Dazzle's not there, you do have a buyback available on Kunkka, but what's that going to help? Rather drop the tier 3. There's the blink in forward from the axe. He does get used up. Did pop his blade roll, but that doesn't really actually help at all. Can they actually do anything? Axe is about to die from this, and the buyback is there from the Kunkka. Kunkka does uses X marks the spot. There is the both the combo. Everything's being thrown onto the Weaver. Weaver does actually drop from this, so they do want to turn around, and the axe, however, is dead right now. Does not a buyback, but they don't actually need it. Oh, the burst damage coming in here. PL immediately dropping from this. Can they get the kill onto the Timbersword? Timbersword does get healed up by the Undying, and there's a TP in, very aggressive TP in forward. They do finally manage to actually kill off the Undying. But it's not going to be enough. Oh, or is it? Missing out the combos. Oh, there's the toss, and yep, cleave coming in, or the damage coming in here from the Kunkka, managing to get the kill. So looking at the fight recap there, it's a bit late because you can't see the rest of the deaths, but I think that should be a pretty decent like 2 or 3k swing in favor of Infamous Young. However, they did lose the racks. I feel that they shouldn't have actually fought here when the Dazzle wasn't there. They tried to force it. They lost the Kunkka. Kunkka was forced to buy back on that one as well. So no buybacks up on the Kunkka. Looking at the PL. PL does have buyback, luckily. He does also have his Mantis style. And Weaver wants to jump onto Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer is... trying to run away, but the amount of damage that... Weaver! Yeah, I mean, that was extremely close. Weaver nearly actually just completely dropped from there. And my mouse control is very bad. There's a blink in forward from the axe. Does manage to actually catch up to two. He does have his blade mail up. There's the first stun coming in. The stun is there from the Tiny as well. They do manage to get the Undying. The other one to turn around. Once you go onto the Timbersword, but Timbersword just kills off the axe. But he gets brought back. He's like, stay where you are. They want to turn around now. There's the dust being popped in from the Grimstone. Grimstone does pop his ultimate onto the Tiny as well as the Kunkka. Kunkka might be in a lot of trouble right now. Tiny drops, Kunkka drops, and this might just be it for the side of Infamous Young. 2 of their cores are down. PL is still alive, but Dazzle just trying to delay things up as much as long as possible. While PL farms on the bottom lane. It is a 2-for-4 trade, but I mean, it's not a trade that you want to do considering you like have to try and defend your base, and Rush will also be up in may respawn in 30 seconds. So the fat lady hasn't sung yet. PL busy pushing up bottom lane, trying to work up towards that BKB. But a good fight for Infamous Young. It's just they could not do enough damage to kill off the Timbersword. And when Timbersword came back, he just blew up, well, I think it was the axe on his way out, and on his way back in the Kunkka. Kunkka does deal a significant amount of damage, but it's not enough. He's also working up towards that BKB, so no, PL's in a lot of trouble. He does have buyback if need be. Are we going to try and force this fight? PL going in onto Grimstone. PL's like, okay, I will go in forward and just teach myself out. The power of PL, boys. Gets his BKB as well. Insta purchases it. Just having a look, though, the problem is still damage output in an extended fight. PL does have all of his illusions, so that is going to help a lot. We need the BKB up on the Kunkka, and then maybe one more maybe crit. And then Infamous Young is starting to look in a much better position. But Scotty is queued up here for the Weaver. Does have a full Mjolnir up as well. And I mean, just popping that on himself or on the Lifestealer or on the Timbersaw whenever they're focused, you know, considering you're up against mass PL illusions, it's going to proc and it's going to kill off the supports on side of Infamous very quickly. Lifestealer is being pinged out right now. Why is the Lifestealer's name Infamous.Y? Lifestealer just trolling us right now. Thank you very much. Rosh is going to respawn in around 16 seconds, but they want to turn around onto the Kunkka. Kunkka does have his BKB, does actually pop it, uses both his full combo up onto the Weaver. Can they actually do enough? Weaver uses his time lapse, and here you go. Dazzle does just TP out of that. He actually does use Shadow Grave on himself. The ultimate from the Grimstroke is there onto the PL as well as the Kunkka, but they're actually managing to do quite a bit of damage. Axe does buy back, turning around. PL does go straight onto the Grimstroke. Grimstroke does drop finally from that, but with the buybacks from the Axe, I don't think that the side of... Oh no, there's the blink in forward, gets the call off. They want to go in onto the Timbersaw. Timbersaw's in a bit of trouble himself. Is he going to deny himself? No! He just goes straight out, and now it's going to be a counter. Lifestealer turning around onto the Tiny. Tiny is in a lot of trouble himself. The problem here is though, Kunkka wants to get a kill onto the Timbersaw, but Timbersaw just... He's sitting with 74 HP regen a second. They cannot do enough damage onto him at this point, but... Is there going to be a dunk? Is there going to be a dunk? There's the dunk, finally! Getting the kill onto the most irritating hero in the game right now, the Timbersaw. And Timbersaw actually didn't even deny himself from that. And dying's going to be the next one to fall here for the side of Playmakers. And that is actually a massive team fight for the side of Infamous Young. It did cost them another buyback yet again. Tips coming out and Faker's just like, yeah. I think they realized Faker... No, did he deny himself? Or was he killed? Never mind. PL with that working up the way towards his heart, and this is where the PL starts becoming very dangerous. As soon as he gets that heart up as well, I mean, he's going to be very difficult to kill. He does have level 25 up, so we'll most likely just go for the 6-second doppelganger cooldown, which he actually does. How do you kill a PL if half the time he's actually not there? Tiny's still sitting on level 15. Kunkka's sitting, I mean, how is he on level 25? Phantom Lance is sitting level 25, so all of that space that was created for the PL paying off, like, a lot. And you see some form of engagement here. Grimstroke being the target focus here for the PL yet again. Grimstroke is down. BKB was popped, but PL just, you know, can't really move. But now he's going straight into the Rosh pit. Who are they actually going to try and focus up right now? This is the PL versus... Oh, no, what? PL just up. Not PL versus the Weaver. But Weaver is getting the better of that engagement. And here is Kunkka. Kunkka did drop his Joker. Kunkka snatched the Aegis of the Immortal. And the Cheese Wall is still on the ground. Cheese Wall is picked up here by the Weaver. But the Kunkka managing to actually steal that. And he's going to pay with his life. Tiny, no. Tiny manages, well, tries to blink in forward and toss out the Kunkka. I think that was the plan behind it, but did not work. And going to be a third player down here from the side of Infamous. Meanwhile, PL just doing PL things and pushing out the top lane because, hey, that's all that you can really do. Does not have buybacks, so needs 100 gold. And PL has to be careful here. It is slowed up. This is very problematic here for the PL because if he drops, he... Oh, okay, well, he has buyback. Weaver in forward from the Axe, does pop his blade mail. Weaver might actually just kill himself. Axe should have actually just stayed there with the spins. He would have been able to dunk the Weaver. Now Axe is in a bit of trouble himself. He might actually not. He won't drop. Actually surprised there. If Axe man-moded the Weaver there with the spins, he would have been able to get the dunk off, I think. But then again, Weaver has a link. No, he doesn't have a Lincoln. Yeah, he would have been able to kill the Weaver. Well, this is turning out to be a hell of a game. Very scrappy fights. I'm not really following a lot of them in the team fights. Trying to play-by-play this solo. But let's see. BKB nearly up here for the Axe. Problem is this thing. Pierce's spell immunity, the soul bind. It's well, actually, let's zoom out here. Let's check the blink info. The call is there onto the Weaver. This time the blade moves up, but the Yule straight in onto the Axe. Another one to turn on. Here comes the boat. However, it is going to be the Weaver that actually does drop here. Can they get more? The Weaver does actually time lapse back in. Buyback. Time lapse is in. The Dazzle is going to be the next one to fall. Another one to turn around. The Axe is in the middle of everyone. Axe does drop here. The amount of damage being pushed out here is just too much for the side of Infamous Young. They can't really do anything. Now it is going to be the poor little PL. I'm saying poor PL. He just bought out his heart. Not having buyback. He bought out his heart. Maybe that was just the... I think that was just the recipe. But PL doesn't have buyback for this fight. And I don't think the side of Playmakers know this just yet. However, they're going to find this out very soon. And it's 70 seconds without buyback. Axe also is down. And if Playmakers actually knew this, they would have just moved straight in onto the tier 4. They want to just ensure the victory. They're going in for that second lane of Axe. There's the Rage coming up here from the Lifestealer. They want to go for full lane of Megas. And they actually... Can Infamous Young delay this long enough? Stuns coming through. The Toster boat is there as well. Does manage to hit onto the Undying. However, the Timbersaw is just on the backlines. I mean, they can't kill him. They can't even focus him. They're doing everything they can, but the Tiny, he's just standing still right now. He can't even move. Timbersaw's coming in. Lifestealer's on a godlike 3, and the buyback set from the Tiny. Still 26 seconds up for the Phantom Launcher. He's queued up an MKB, but it's not going to be enough. Megas are up. Playmakers will fall back, so there might just be one last fight in it for them before they give up. Lifestealer does have a full assault Curacao. Butterfly up. SNY up. Radiance up, I mean, and 2,300. Probably working up towards something like a moonshot next. He'll just go ridiculous if he really wants to. Undying, just doing Undying things, being support. Oh, top lane. Playmaker, Taker, onto the poor little Dazzle. I mean, this is just bullying the Dazzle at this point in time. And there's the Yule. Dazzle, say goodbye. 104 seconds. This is very good. But there is no call. The blink forward was there, but the Yule's instantly onto the Axe. Who are they actually going to try and focus? They're trying to get onto the Timbersaw right now, but they can't actually do anything. The BKB is stopped on the Kunkka. And the PL trying to do everything he can, but he just doesn't have the damage output. Finally pops his BKB. Just a little bit, well, I don't know. Too little, too late, I think. I just have to give it this Grimstroke and the Yules. Every time the Axe blinked it forward with a Blade Mill, the Yules was there instantly. And I'll have to give the MVP to the Grimstroke. He just played phenomenally well. His positioning was insane. I'll try to focus him when, you know, the fight started, but he'd already got his ulti off, his Yules off onto the Axe. The Axe cores just really didn't do anything when Grimstroke was alive. And with that, it's Playmakers 2, Infamous Young 0. So Infamous Young will be heading on to the lower bracket. I will be casting that game as well in a little bit of time. So guys, on that note, thanks so much for joining. I'm RidditZ, and I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. I actually don't know when's the next game. I think it might be in an hour. But stay tuned. Thanks so much.